Hello. Ethan Cole mumbled into his phone, eyes still glued shut. Whoever was calling at this hour had already been cursed out in his head 100 times. Honey, I miss you. The familiar voice snapped his eyes open. He pulled the phone away, squinting at the caller ID, just to be sure. Once confirmed, he let out a long, heavy sigh. You've been drinking again, haven't you? Just a little. I'll have Olivia come pick you up. No, I don't want her. I want you to come get me, honey. Her voice slipped into that lazy, seductive drawl she always used, but Ethan had developed a complete immunity to it by now. Khloe, we broke up. Stop this. No, I don't want to. I never agreed to it. The seductive act cracked instantly, replaced by shaky, tear-filled breathing. Ethan rubbed his forehead, trying to stay patient. Don't make a scene. I'll have Olivia get you. Just wait for her. I don't want her, she insisted, voice cracking. I want you to come get me. Then the plea came, soft, broken. Honey, I was wrong. Can we get back together, please? Just like before. I'll listen to you from now on. I promise. For a split second, her pleading tone made something flicker inside Ethan. But then he remembered what she'd said that day. The things she'd thrown at him like knives. Where are you? I'm sending Olivia. I'm hanging up now. Hearing the annoyance sharpening in his voice, Khloe trembled. Is there really no chance for us? Ethan said nothing. His silence was the only answer she needed. She tried once more, desperation clinging to her voice. Can I see one last time? He wanted to say no. God, he wanted to say no. But he hesitated, because with Khloe, you never knew what she might do. Where? The moment he asked for her location, her voice lit up like a struck match. The waterfront bridge. Stay put. I'm on my way. He hung up. Okay, I'll wait for you. When the call ended, Khloe stared down at the only photo she had of the two of them, their college graduation picture. A sad, tear-tracked smile spread across her face. She remembered how they met. Freshman year. She was getting boba with her friends when he'd walked up and asked for her number. She'd immediately pegged him as a player and shut him down. But then he kept showing up everywhere she went. It got so annoying, she finally gave in and gave him her contact. From that day on, Ethan became a constant, like a loyal, overly devoted puppy. He was handsome, sure, but his family wasn't wealthy, and Khloe always felt he wasn't someone she could show off in her elite social circle. Even after he became her boyfriend, mostly because her parents kept nagging her to settle down, part of her still looked down on him. He treated her incredibly well, though. Whenever he wanted to post a picture of them together on Instagram, she always had an excuse. They fought about it constantly, and every time, she'd pull out her favorite weapon. I'll break up with you. And Ethan would always back down. Always be the one comforting her later. The last time she'd said it, she couldn't even remember what stupid thing they'd argued about. All she remembered was waking up to a note on the table. I'm tired. Let's break up. She'd laughed at his childishness then. But as days turned into weeks, she realized he meant it. The man who used to reply instantly had vanished. Her messages turned into red exclamation marks, blocked. She'd spent hours staring at their graduation photo, the only picture she had of him. Eventually, Olivia, her best friend, felt pity and managed to get Ethan's new number from one of his buddies. And that's how she managed to make that call tonight. Still lost in those memories, staring at the photo, she suddenly felt a tap on her shoulder. Her heart lurched. It was Ethan. She quickly wiped her eyes. You came, she said, voice hoarse. The sound made something tighten in Ethan's chest. He held himself still, expression blank. Let's go. I'll take you home. He walked over to his e-scooter and waited. When she didn't move, he looked back, irritation slipping through. She just stood there with a dazed, fragile smile. With a sigh, he walked back, crouched down, picked up the socks and shoes she tossed aside, and gently put them back on her feet. Just as he finished, Khloe cupped his face, leaned in, and pressed her damp lips to his. She tried to deepen the kiss, but Ethan pushed her away and stood up silently. He got back on the scooter. This time she climbed on behind him without being told. As the city lights blurred past, she wrapped her arms tightly around him, inhaling his familiar scent like it was the only oxygen left in the world. By the time they reached her house, she had fallen asleep, her tears soaking through the back of his shirt. Ethan sighed, scooped her up in a princess carry, walked to the door, and rang the bell. Khloe's mother, Sharon, opened it. "Ethan, it's you," she beamed. He offered a polite smile. "Hi, Mrs. Vance. It's been a while." Sharon took one look at her sleeping daughter in his arms and hurriedly let him in. Both parents had always liked him, even knowing Khloe's attitude. They didn't care that he wasn't from New York or wealthy. They just wanted her to be happy. After he laid her on the bed and tried to leave, he found David, her father, waiting in the living room alongside Sharon. "Ethan, come sit down," David said. "Your uncle has something to talk to you about." The tone made Ethan tense. Still, he Saturday Mr. and Mrs. Vance. They nodded. David smiled. "How come you haven't been by the house lately, Ethan?" Ethan let out a stiff laugh. They all knew why. "Khloe and I had a little disagreement. I was afraid you'd lecture me, sir." David chuckled. "I don't interfere in your relationship. And you don't need to pretend. We can see what's going on. You two broke up, didn't you?" "No point hiding it." Ethan nodded. Sharon stepped in anxiously. "Couples fight all the time. That's normal. It shouldn't lead to a breakup." Ethan said nothing, eyes fixed on the floor. David noticed and changed the subject. "It's getting late. Why don't you stay the night?" Ethan quickly waved it off. No. I've got things to handle. I should go." David nodded. "Come by any time." Ethan muttered in agreement and hurried out. Once he was gone, Sharon sighed heavily. Watching her daughter like this tore her apart. "Come on," David said. "They're young. Let them sort it out. It hurts me to see Khloe like this every day. How can you not feel anything as her father?" "I do feel something," David replied. "But I know my daughter. She must have done something to make that boy angry." Sharon bristled. "Whose side are you on? Is Ethan your son, or is Khloe your daughter?" All right, he relented. "I don't like seeing her this way either. But we can't force Ethan." Silence fell. And just inside her bedroom, Khloe sat on the floor behind the cracked door. She'd heard every word. The next morning, Ethan dragged himself out of bed feeling groggy. He grabbed a quick deli breakfast, rushed to the office, and clocked in at 8:59. Just in time. Attendance bonus saved. Cutting it close again, Ethan, Mark, his supervisor, teased. "Trying to avoid working an extra minute?" "Huh. Sorry, Mark overslept." "I'm messing with you. Go on." Ethan nodded and sat at his desk. Immediately, the woman beside him leaned over. "Ethan, want to get dinner tonight?" "I can't. I'm broke." "Come on. My treat." He shook his head again. He wasn't interested. Maybe he still wasn't over Khloe. Lily pouted. She was starting to wonder if Ethan was even straight. She was beautiful, and he acted like she didn't exist. Their coworker Chris nudged her. "That's not going to work. Ethan doesn't eat with strangers." "What?" Lily blinked. "She was a stranger? Want me to help you out?" Chris asked with a smirk. Lily nodded eagerly. She really liked Ethan. "Buy me a coffee, and I'll help." Chris froze under Ethan's glare. He slowly retreated to his desk. "Don't listen to him," Ethan told Lily. "He can't help you." "Oh," she whispered. Then she tried again. "So, Ethan, what's your type?" Without looking up, he deadpanned, "I'm into guys." Lily finally gave up and turned back to her work. She'd always wondered why he never flirted with anyone. Even during her internship, when he mentored her for 2 weeks, he barely spoke. Never went to company events. No drama. No gossip. Just Ethan. A sudden clap echoed across the office. Mark stood there. "Okay, everyone. Big announcement. We've got a new GM starting today. I need you all on your best behavior. We can slack off after the boss leaves. Just this once, do me a favor." "You got it, Mark." The team always said the same thing about Mark. He was one of the good ones. Easygoing, the kind of guy who covered for everyone when they messed up. People respected him. So when he stepped out of the office for a bit and came back looking rattled, everyone noticed. And as soon as he was gone again, the whole place started buzzing. "I didn't hear anything about a new GM. Yeah, me neither. Or that the old one was leaving. You think it's a parachute hire? Someone from corporate. Ethan didn't care about the gossip. He didn't even look up. He was focused on an email chain with a client. The company he worked for, just a basic import-export firm dealing with household goods, kept him busy enough. But right before noon, Mark reappeared, and behind him was a woman. A beautiful one. And Ethan knew her instantly. Khloe Vance. Of course. Who else would it be? In the morning, Khloe had gotten her father, David, to pull some strings and get her a job. And apparently her father had serious pull, because the owner had handed her the general manager position like it was nothing. No interviews. No transition period. Just here you go, Ms. Vance, and done. Khloe didn't hesitate. She walked straight to Ethan's desk with a triumphant smile. Mark hovered nervously behind her, terrified Ethan had somehow offended the new GM he thought was just a VP earlier. But no, she wasn't a VP. She was the new general manager. Honey, Khloe said. The word hit the office like a bomb. The air went dead silent. Every single jaw dropped. People literally froze and stared at them. Ethan didn't even look at her. He turned back to his monitor, pretending to be consumed by work. Next to him, Lily stiffened. She looked crushed. No wonder Ethan had ignored her all this time, because apparently he was married and had lied to her about being single. Khloe didn't linger. After greeting Ethan, she followed Mark to the GM's office. The second she disappeared behind the glass door, Ethan's coworkers swarmed him like flies. Ethan, man, you're married to the new GM? Bro, you gotta look out for your old pals now. Dude, you're the man. Ethan tried to defend himself, voice tired. I don't know her. She's crazy. But they weren't buying it. They were about to keep pushing when they spotted Mark walking back. Everyone dove back to their desks like soldiers returning to formation. Mark approached Ethan, curiosity practically glowing. Ethan, what's the deal? Why did Ms. Vance call you honey? I thought you were single. Ethan repeated himself, exhausted. I don't know her. She's crazy. Mark could tell Ethan wasn't going to explain, so he let it go. As soon as he left, Lily leaned over again, eyes red and watery. Ethan, you lied to me. You're married. Ethan felt completely helpless. He had rejected her so many times, but she simply refused to hear the word no. He didn't even answer, just shook his head. Lily watched the GM's door with a glare so sharp it could cut glass. He's mine, she thought bitterly. You're not stealing him from me, you old hag. When the day finally ended, Ethan went downstairs, ready to hop on his e-scooter and get home. That's when a pair of arms wrapped around him from behind. He turned, annoyed. What are you doing? Khloe just smiled. Going home with my husband, of course. We broke up, Ms. Vance, he said flatly. I don't care, she replied. I didn't agree, so we didn't break up. Watching her cling to him so relentlessly, Ethan saw a faint echo of his old self, back when he had loved her blindly, desperately. But things were different now. He tried to reason calmly. Stop it, Khloe. I'm not good enough for you right now. You're just upset because I broke up with you and your pride is hurt. I don't want you messing up the quiet life I have now. Khloe didn't answer. She just tightened her grip. Defeated, Ethan brought her to his tiny rented apartment. Honey, is this where you live now? She asked, stunned. It was barely a single room with a bathroom. Cramped, suffocating. Yeah. See? I'm not good enough for you. But Khloe didn't understand. She had seen his pay stubs at work earlier. He made over $20,000 a month. Even with New York rent, he shouldn't be living like this. She sat on the bed, then slowly lay down, staring at him like she was watching a movie. Meanwhile, Ethan ignored her. He gathered his pile of dirty laundry and took it to the bathroom to wash by hand. Khloe watched, a strange fantasy forming. Her and Ethan with a baby, him standing there washing dirty diapers. A goofy, lovesick grin spread across her face. Ethan frowned at her expression. When are you going home? Khloe slipped under the covers. This is my home. Before he could argue, his phone rang. His mother. He wiped his hands and answered quickly. Mom? What's up? Maria's voice was tired. Son, do you have any money? The doctor prescribed more medicine. Yes. Yes, I do, Ethan said immediately. I'll send it over right away. Son, this has been so hard on you. Ethan heard her crying and tried to comfort her. It's okay, Mom. What did the doctor say? When can Dad come home? He just has 1 week of observation left. If everything goes well, he can be discharged. That's great. You take care of him, okay? I'll take some time off and come home. After hanging up, Ethan called Mark. Hey Mark, can I borrow some money? How much? $3,000. I'll Venmo it, Mark said without hesitation. Pay me back whenever. No rush. Thanks, man. We're friends. Don't mention it. Khloe watched all of this quietly. Your dad's in the hospital? She asked softly. Ethan nodded. If you need money, you should ask me. I can give it to you. Why would you borrow from someone else? Ethan forced a small, bitter smile. It's fine. I've got it handled. Khloe didn't like that answer. When are you going home? I'll go with you. He didn't respond. He just kept hanging the wet clothes. Knock, knock, knock. DoorDash, someone called. Just leave it at the door, Ethan shouted, finishing the last shirt before stepping out to grab the food. The moment he left the room, Khloe snatched his phone. She found a recently saved contact labeled Mom and hit dial. Hello, son. What? Hi, Mrs. Cole. Khloe said quickly. This is Ethan's girlfriend. We're going to come see you in a few days. Oh, you must be Khloe. Maria sounded genuinely happy. Khloe froze. She hadn't expected Ethan's mother to even know she existed. Yes, ma'am. I'm Khloe. Ethan walked in with the food and saw Khloe on the phone. He lunged for the device just as he heard his mother's voice. Is that Ethan? Is he with you? Yes, Khloe said sweetly. He doesn't want me to come see you. He's being mean. Maria immediately scolded. Ethan, how can you treat a girl like that? You. Mom, I've got something going on. I'll call you back, Ethan interrupted, hanging up. Khloe's smug little smile returned. Honey, your password is still my birthday. You still think about me. Ethan ignored her. He opened his takeout and started eating. Khloe climbed off the bed, crept behind him, and wrapped her arms around his neck. Honey, I'll never say we should break up again. Please forgive me this one time. I know I was wrong. Ethan forced himself to stay calm. When he finished eating, he stood up. Get up. I'm going out. Khloe's temper snapped. She had humbled herself completely, and he still ignored her. Ethan, what do you want from me? He turned, anger rising too. We are broken up. Stop interfering in my life. He grabbed his jacket and walked out. Khloe collapsed on the bed, sobbing. He doesn't want me anymore. He doesn't want me. Downstairs, Ethan bought cigarettes. He hadn't smoked in years, but the nicotine numbed something in him. He'd thought about everything clearly over the past months. They weren't right for each other. They were from different worlds. And right now, he couldn't understand her at all. He suspected this was just her pride, that she couldn't stand the idea of being dumped by someone poorer and wanted to get him back just to dump him herself later. After 2 cigarettes, Ethan went back upstairs. Khloe was asleep, tear stains on her cheeks. A sharp pain struck him. This was his first love. 6 years. How could he pretend he didn't care? He gently wiped her tears, looking at her. I can't go back to that exhaustion, he thought. I can't handle it again. He covered her with the blanket, then quietly booked a bus ticket home for the next morning. He packed a small bag, closed the door behind him, and headed for the bus terminal. Hours later, Khloe woke up alone. Ethan wasn't back. She grabbed her phone and called him. Beep, beep, beep. The number you have dialed is no longer in service. She tried again. Same message. Ethan, where are you? Where are you? She hugged her knees and cried until she couldn't breathe. Finally, she called her best friend. Livy, Ethan's gone. He doesn't want me anymore. Olivia's heart broke. Khloe, don't cry. You found him once, right? Just follow him. Wherever he is, you go. Don't give up. But I don't know where he is. He blocked me. What? No way. Olivia was stunned. Everyone had always been jealous of Khloe. Ethan was handsome, kind, and completely devoted. Besides his family's money issues, he was perfect. Their friends used to tease Khloe for never caring about Ethan's feelings. Everyone assumed she never took him seriously. But now, her tears were clearly real. "Khloe, hold on," Olivia said. "I'll ask his friend from back home where his family lives. Go to his house. I refuse to believe he's just gone." Her best friend, Khloe Vance, had never been treated this way in her life. "Okay, Libby. Thank you." The next day, Ethan arrived in his hometown of Lakewood, Ohio. He went straight to the hospital where his father was staying. In the room, Robert Cole was already looking much better. "Dad, how are you feeling?" Ethan asked. Robert smiled. "I'm fine. Don't you worry. It's just the same old problem." Maria shot him a sharp look. "I tell you not to drink, but you never listen." "Yeah, Dad. You should drink less," Ethan added. All right. I'll cut back," Robert muttered. Then he perked up. "Hey, your mother told me your girlfriend was coming to visit. Where is she?" He even craned his neck, searching behind Ethan. Ethan opened his mouth to explain, but before he could speak, the door flew open. A girl burst into the room. It was Khloe. She stared straight at Ethan, anger burning in her eyes. "Why did you block my number?" "Why? What's going on here?" Robert asked, now clearly seeing something was wrong between them. "Dad, we have something to discuss outside," Ethan said quickly. He grabbed Khloe's arm and pulled her out of the hospital. "How did you find me?" Khloe didn't answer. Instead, she demanded, "Why did you block me, Ethan? What is it you want?" Ethan asked, exhausted. "We're not a good fit. I'm not good enough for you." "I say you are, so you are," Khloe shot back. Ethan let out a breathless, strained laugh. "I don't have time to play these games with you anymore. I want to get married and settle down. Your Highness, please just let me go." Khloe suddenly reached into her purse and pulled out a folded document, her birth certificate. "Ethan, let's go to City Hall and get married right now. I'm not playing with you. I, Khloe Vance, am in love with you." And with that, she threw herself into his arms. "Ethan, can you please love me again? I'm so scared of losing you." Her voice was muffled against his chest, her whole body shaking. I'm so scared. Yesterday, I honestly thought about dying. I thought I would never see you again." Ethan's hand slowly, reluctantly rested on her back. "Then you have to promise me you'll never say we should break up again." I promise, she cried. "I'll never say it again." Once Khloe finally calmed down, Ethan led her back into the hospital room. "Mom, Dad, this is Khloe." "Oh my," Maria gasped. "So this is Khloe. She's so beautiful." She rushed over, taking Khloe's hand, then noticed her red, swollen eyes. She immediately smacked Ethan's arm. "You little brat. You made this poor girl cry again." "Mrs. Cole, no, it wasn't him," Khloe defended. "I was just so emotional." After 4 or 5 days in Lakewood, Ethan and Khloe returned to New York. When Sharon saw Ethan holding her daughter's hand as they walked in, her whole face blossomed with a smile. "Ethan, you're back." "Hi, Mrs. Vance." "Mom, come in, Khloe said. "I'll go make dinner." At the dinner table, David was just as delighted to see them back together. "Ethan, your aunt and I have always been very fond of you. When should our families meet?" "Sir," Ethan said, "once my dad is out of the hospital, I'll have him come for a visit." "Your dad's been in the hospital?" David frowned. "Oh, we can't have him travel. We'll go to your hometown." "That's no problem." Ethan looked embarrassed. "Sir, my family, our situation isn't the best." David immediately waved it off. "Ethan, we only have one daughter. After you two get married, everything we have will be yours. I only have one condition. You can never let Khloe down." "I promise," Ethan said, his voice steady and sincere. The next day, Ethan and Khloe went to work together, her arms wrapped tightly around his waist on the e-scooter. When Lily saw them arrive so affectionately, jealousy burned through her. She marched straight up to them. "Ethan, you too, you?" Khloe instantly sensed this little girl had a crush on her man. "Young lady," she said firmly, "this is my husband. Please have some self-respect." But Lily ignored Khloe and stared at Ethan, desperate. Ethan knew he had to end this once and for all. "Lily, I've always told you it wasn't possible between us, and I've rejected you very clearly. This is my fiancé." At those words, tears streamed down Lily's face. Ethan, why do you love her? I'm younger than her. I'm prettier than her. Why don't you love me? Khloe nearly exploded. Younger, okay. But prettier? Not in this lifetime. Ethan quickly grabbed Khloe's hand. All right. Don't get worked up over a kid. Khloe immediately softened, putting on a gentle, demure act. Okay, honey. Watching their sweet display, Lily broke down and ran off. Later that day, Ethan and Khloe submitted their resignations to the company. Ethan also paid back the money he owed Mark. Years later, Khloe held their child in her arms, watching Ethan wash diapers. And she couldn't help but smile. Honey, she said softly, I love you.